wheeling, which I don't really want to do because now I've got the bale ladders. I've got those stupid little thing, one bale at a time thing.
Oh, the schmetterlings.
That's why you get the guy that does Field 71 and do the bale trucks as well.
Yeah.
He'll get it done in a jiffy.
Well, it may also come with the trouble of the fact that I'm pretty sure half the baling contracts with the tedding, so wouldn't the rain affect that?
No.
Well,
No. Remember, this is giant seasons. Half
this is
pie.
not proper seasons.
Yeah, half pie. Giants half pie things. Not let's do it properly. Giants half pie. We're going to bring out seasons. No, you're not. You're going to bring out season. You've forgotten the S. S for serious.
You know what they brought out is extended weather simulator.
Yeah, that's how we're bringing out seasonal weather changes, not season effects.
Yeah. Well, they do. I mean, we've got autumn trees, but you know what I mean. And it's a damn shame. What's even more is a shame is Realism Money ain't going to do a seasons mod for 22.
yeah.
But it's a real shame that they didn't get, what's his name? The guy that does seasons, started season, who they employed, got him to do this in the game. He had nothing to do with it. And I don't know why. Why not get the guy who's had experience of doing that mod to do it for in-game? But they didn't. But they could have just added, like, I understand people don't like seasons and all the aspect of it. That's fine. You can turn it off. They've got it on here as well. But there's nothing stopping them adding the options as well, because the grass with the rain is good. You know, some people love that. It's about seasons. The fact that even though when it stopped raining, you still couldn't harvest until the crop was dry. Some people like that realism. They wanted more of a real simulator. Did you know that Santa Claus is a farmer in the off season? Is he?
No.
Well, hang on. Oh, I see why. Hang on, let me allow that. 'Cause it's a good joke. Sort of. It's a dad joke, but that's the jokes I like. How are you, buddy? It's been a while. How's things? Keeping well, I hope? Yeah, speaking of the Giants thing, I was thinking about it today because it was mentioned in Prifkar's video today. And I actually really thought about it, triggered something in me. It's something I always complained about and moaned about and everything else, but then I sat and thought about it today, and after all this time, like all these features they put in and everything else, and everyone sort of asked for and all that, there is one thing that people have been asking for since 15, I think it is. It's a simple thing to put into the game. Why haven't they? I don't understand why they haven't done it. The fact that with loans, instead of going up 5,000 lots, why can't we put in the amount or have a slider or something like that? Something more easy. And the same with buying animals and that. Why? Everybody wants that. So
They had
why
that didn't they have that in 17 that you could slide with a mouse wheel?
well, with the mouse wheel you could do it, yeah, you could, yeah, even that, and they got rid of it. Then we had to have a mod in 19 to add, you know, GDX's one where you hold down the enter key for long enough and it'll speed up. But, I mean, if you want to buy 50 sheep, why can't you put in 50 sheep? Yeah. Why do you have to do it that way? It's logical, it's simple, and it's not hard to code. So I don't get it. I just don't understand why Giants have no. Get down. I don't want that. Go away. Just leave. Fine. I'll choose something then if that will make you happier. I just don't understand. At
I was
all.
going to say, because even if they're worried about, yeah, people trying to type the word 3 when they want, like, 3 sheep, for example, just give us a numpad to dial in.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like
You just put the number, not
best.
type in bloody 3 with THRE, whatever it is.
Yeah, so,
You put the number 3. Everyone's got it. I mean, obviously with console it might be a bit different, but you can bring up, like in other games, you can bring up the numpad thing, yeah. Look at like that with the keypad or something like that. But it's
they've got
just,
the ability for an on-screen keyboard, because hello, license plates.
yeah. It makes no sense. And I think it's one thing that I mean, everyone's got a bit of a bug to bear with the game in certain ways and that, but that's one thing that everyone seems to skip over. You want them to do all these things, and yet they can't do that one simple thing that everyone asks for. It's always it's pretty much the first thing that comes out when Giants releases a new version of Farming Sim, is people go in to see if you can do that, if they've added that feature in. And I just can't for the life of me understand why they haven't. It's not that hard to do. And I'm not a coder. And I know it's a fact that it's not hard to do. It's basic programming. If a modder can do it, they can do it.
And they do it quick. Alright, as you mentioned, it's one of the first mods coming out.
Well, I'm still a little bitter over the entire lack of testing and checking for that minor bug that I keep going on about.
Yeah, well, maybe they ignore you because they don't know how to fix it, which is also another concern, isn't it? They've got the money now. They've got the money to buy people who are good at their field. Or at least halfway decent. That can sort these issues out. Make the game better. But the problem is, they've got no fire lit under them because there's no competition for them. You want to play a farming sim game, because even as it is, it's still like miles ahead of any other farming sim games. And they know that, so they don't have to put the effort in.
Yeah, that was the part that got me, was just basically from their side of be closing a whole bunch of tickets like, 1.3's dropped, surely that's fixed. It's like, no, check it and then check.
Yeah. Oh, it's fixed. Yeah, good on you, mate. That's why we're all having issues.
So as the time of writing, it's back to another. I should actually see what the current outstanding date is, because I literally just said, it's this new ticket relates back to this issue. Issue persists.
Right, so that's another one done. Wherever it may be, up top here, $900. Slowly but surely. So what do we got here? We've got rain. Oh, look at that stupid thing. Well, that's all we got left. I'm going to have to do one of these, aren't I? The stupid things. Hate them. Really hate those. It's all silage, isn't it?
Because I took all the hay ones. I'm currently doing the last one. It's a bit annoying because I have to do them one by one so I can keep the equipment for the other one.
Yeah, still currently doing for 10.
Still, Jesus
Yep.
Christ! But you're almost done, right?
Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm at 94%.
I mean, didn't you have 2 sugar beet contracts? You could have just
Yeah,
had 2 machines working. Right?
I did. I did have two different machines going.
Now I've come up with a plan, and it's probably going to hurt me more than help me here. Just because I've been lazy.
Mm.
Why did you go that way, you piece of numpty machine? Someone's things at field 18.
What's that?
Someone's tractor arrived at field 18.
Yeah, mine.
They said a grass field, or hay field, or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still hoping that NBN finds an issue with my internet, like what happened Sunday.
Yeah, it'd be rather nice if they fix it. You pay them to provide internet.
It's not that they're fixing it. They're monitoring what's going on. I keep saying, like I said to my current provider, I said, look, this has happened to 2 other providers before the one I'm with now, and yet they say, oh, it could be a hardware issue. I'm like, as I said, it's happened to 2 other providers before you,
Yeah.
with 2 different modems including, and yet they keep saying it's a hardware issue.
It still
Well,
could be a hardware issue,
yeah.
but not the modem. It could
Well,
be, like I said, yes, on Sunday. Could be the pipeline connection.
yeah, but resetting his router, that'll stuff the connection. It wouldn't restart the router.
I went ahead as far as restarting, like factory resetting the modem itself.
Yeah. The thing is with even though you've had different providers with different modems, those modems might have the same chipsets supplied by the same company inside that modem. And there could be a hardware issue. It's just you've just been unlucky that the providers that you have sent you modems that do have a chip in them or something along the lines that are made by the same company.
I was going to say, what are you running, DSL or?
DSL.
Because the chipset thing,
I don't know what the chipset would be then.
yeah, it depends on the modem. 'Cause I think the main 2 ones was the Texas Instruments TI-7 and I think it was the SMC was the other one. Broadcom, maybe Broadcom, one of the 2. That's one of those things. That's one of those things where I used to do tech support for Westnet and ISP for those playing at home. Yeah, we used to have that occasionally. It'd be like, oh, so someone with a Belkin router would always have issues, and then they switched over to a Netgear, but it had the same chipset, still had issues. And then they picked up a Linksys or something else with a different chipset. I don't know, I can't remember the patterns, but it's like some other brand of router with a different chipset, and suddenly it works perfectly happily.
Yeah, well, I've got like Vodafone, right, and my mum's got the New Zealand company Spark, her modem's different to mine, but they're both made by the same company, Huawei. And it's because they go to those company, Huawei, whatever it is. And they go to their company and get them to make the modems under their specs. So they've got, you know, a contract and get it at a cheaper price because they're the only ones supplying that modem. But of course they look different. They've got different names and everything else. They're still using their components. And that's probably what's happening with your modem and that, you know?
Yeah. That also depends on the exact living situation. One place I stayed at, I was getting something like 4.5 megabit on a DSL2 plan, so that tops out at 25 megabit. Neighbour at the back of the house was getting like 3.5 to 4 depending on the day, and they rerouted the copper between the front unit where the split box was down to his unit, so it's less than 50 meters worth of wire, and he jumped up to like 14 megabit. Well, even my old apartment, that used to get, I think it was 18 to the node, and between the node and 200 meters for where my old apartment was at the end of the driveway. That dropped down to 4 megabit again. I was just like, wow. So I could either pay, you know, a number of thousands of dollars to replace the phone copper line, which works fine for the phone purposes, which is why Australia wouldn't cover it.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, no thanks. Everyone else is going for 5G these days. A lot of high speeds are pushing for that.
I was the only one with the internet of the 5 houses that are here, 5 flats. Only one with the internet, and I was getting 950 megabyte down, not a problem. Someone new moved in, got them broadband installed, and now at night when he's home, I get around 750 and all sorts of issues. I mean, annoying. I can occasionally get up to 950, but it takes a long time to get up there. It used to go right straight up to about 930 and then hit the 950 mark. Now it starts at 700 megabyte and slowly works its way up to about 950 when I do SpeedNet. I reckon they've stuffed something up, which is causing an issue on my line.
The thing is, I'm still rocking on the copper cable anyway. No one's been updated around here except the node itself, which is out on the highway, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I used to have, because I used to have fibre optic on the road, but there was still getting... You'd pay for fibre optic, but from the road to your house was copper. But lucky for us, our government came out with a law where the companies actually have to provide a fibre straight to your house free.
Yeah, I wish that would be just set me up.
Well, I think it was a case of that was the plan here, then someone turned around and said, no, we could save thousands of dollars just by going copper to the curb. So there's this mishmash of some newer states do have fibre to the home, thankfully mine does. And a lot of people have just been left out in the dark, like, yeah, you get 60 megabit, that's enough for you.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is like here, but like that law, the internet providers are going to provide you with the best available technology at the time at a reasonable price. So that's why our internet's cheap. Like my internet package that I'm on costs me $80 a month, where I know in Australia, Sydney, it'll cost you $200 a month for the same thing. And it's ridiculous. But then again, on the other hand, we've got to realise that with my country, for them to lay all the fibre optic through the country and everything is a lot cheaper, because we're a small country compared to you guys. It's like the third biggest continent in the world. And you've got to get the internet all through the outback and everything else. That's a lot of money, because that's a lot of cable that's got to be, put down. And pay those wages of people that get paid quite well, because they're specialised in their field, so they cost quite a bit. So at the end of the day, you've got so many. I mean, what are you guys? I don't know what your total. You're about what 20, 30 million people total in Australia, and that's nothing considering the size of Australia. So money-wise, for those companies to go all the way out to where all the small towns and everything else, it's probably not worth you know, because they'll to recuperate that cost, they're going to have to put up the internet cost so high that people won't be able to afford the internet. So it's a matter of them being able to afford the internet and getting some internet and money coming into the company, or everyone losing out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is not an issue we have here, like I said, because, I mean, for a start, the majority of the population lives in North Island, so that's one island you've got to cover, which is the smaller of the two.
Yeah, well, just for the records, 2021 Australia had a population of about 25.7 million people.
And for the size of Australia, that's nothing.
Granted, we're all grouped down the coastal edges. The southeast is where everyone is. Yay for the world's most isolated city. Woo!
Which town? Oh, which city?
I'd say a town, it may as well be at everyone else's scale. I'm in
Yeah. I mean, what we're dealing with floods now, so
Yeah, Auckland
the east
flooded like yesterday.
I used you to seen the floods that happened. We
Yeah,
got what,
in Brisbane and stuff, yeah.
a year's worth of rainfall in 4 days or something like that.
Yeah, they had it all that.
Yeah.
See, and we have been hard. That was the first time it rained yesterday in so long. It's been really weird this year, as far as
It has, yeah.
well, over the last year. I won't say this year because it's pretty much just started, but pretty much from winter on. The winter was a bit weird, but this summer has been, well, it's almost been like old summers, to be honest. Except as I remember them when I was a kid before the weather pattern changed. But yeah. So, but we've had flooding, like the west coast and the South Island had flooding roughly the same time as the Brisbane was having flooding, but not to the extent. And yesterday Auckland
I
was
mean,
flooded.
Sydney's sort of flooded as well, so.
So, yeah. I mean, then again, you guys had the big fire, so that's a lot of smoke, and that would have been in the air, and that would have blocked out the sun and changed the climate, as well as the volcano in Tonga shooting ash up into the atmosphere, which it's got that chemical which reflects light. So they would cool it down and change the climate a bit as well. So, and then, yeah, depending on whether or not the one up the road from me is going to go up because of the tremors and increase in temperature, I reckon it will. How big that one's going to be.
I mean, we've had a few earthquakes come by in the last few years, so. And it never happens. Well, the last time I think it happened in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, well, you get big ones every now and then, but they're not well known for it, eh? I mean, that was like Christchurch. Christchurch got hit with the big one, but Christchurch wasn't known for earthquake at all. Nobody knew about earthquakes in Christchurch. It's not something they ever worried about. And because of that, the buildings weren't designed to handle an earthquake. And then they had the 3 magnitude earthquake, and then they had the 6 magnitude, and of course that did a lot of damage because the buildings weren't designed to handle that, but also because it was almost at the surface. So, and there's a big difference to a 6 magnitude hitting at the surface of the compared to being like 20, 30 k's or miles underneath. There's a big difference in strength and all that. So, and that was the thing, because Auckland's never in recorded history had an earthquake, and then a couple of years after the one in Christchurch, there was a 3 magnitude in Auckland. The first time I ever felt an earthquake. And the scariest thing about that, even though it was a small earthquake and all that, is that because you never experience them and you don't expect it, you don't know what's going on, and that's the scary bit about it. Down here, on the other hand, they're just they're friggin' annoying. The problem here is they happen all the time, but you just don't know how big it is, and that's the scary part of that. You don't know how big it's going to be. And I've talked
Well-
about that big one we had years ago that really shook this house. In fact, I think I've just found cracks in my house all the way down the walls in my bedroom, which I never noticed in a couple of places. Because normally when I go into my bedroom, it's not until night time and I don't turn the light on. I just go in there and I know where the bed is and lie down. So I haven't really taken notice of it. And there's a big crack on my wall down right above my bed and one in the corner and up the top of the roof, and I think it was because of that. But that was a big one. But the worst one about that is what I hadn't ever mentioned is what happened at that stage is there was actually 2 earthquakes within 30 seconds of each other a couple of miles apart, and one was a 6.8 and the other one was a 7.2. That's why it lasted so long, the shaking, because there was 2 earthquakes, one after the other. That did some damage. It even lifted land out of the ground and created a new shoreline. But yeah, it's been weird. I mean, I'd say it's weird. Like I said, it's been like the summers I used to remember. Hardly any rain, hot, nice. And yeah, so whether or not we get the winters of old, because normally when winter comes along, you get autumn or fall if you're in America. What field am I on? 30, I finished. Nice. It's not too bad. Winters generally, when you went into June and halfway through July, they were cold. Wasn't hardly any rain. It'd wake up to fog every day, and you knew if it was foggy in the morning, it was going to be a really sunny day, but it was very cold. And then July, August, September, all the way through to about November, it was just rain. The only difference between spring and winter was it was a lot more windier in spring. But that all changed, like I said, it was all weird. Around about 1990, it changed. You could rely on, you used to be able to go away during Christmas time, and that with beautiful winters, and you know, you go away and spend your Christmas away on a beach and stuff. And now you hold back until about February because it's going to rain all the way through.
Well, and on another note, I just bought the grain mill.
You just bought the grain mill.
I did.
He's a sneaky bigger, isn't he?
And you know the best part? All the grain, the wheat and the sorghum that got delivered to the grain mill, to contracts, still in there, and I get to produce flour with that.
Hang on a second. What grain mill?
Wait, what grain mill?
That at the top of the map, the sell point.
Oh, you're kidding.
Everything you deliver to that sell point, I get to produce flour with that.
That was my disappointment. You bowled me over. That wasn't the AI, that was my disappointment. That's annoying. Oh, I still got paid for it, I suppose, but you get extra cash thanks to our hard work.
Capitalism.
How did you buy it? Just buy the land?
You go up to it and click the little spanner icon.
Yeah, and buy it.
And buy it. You can do that with the dairy and the cereal factory and the carpenter and the oil factory and all that. You can buy almost all the sell points on this map. Except for the bowling thing, the Johnston's Farmers Market.
Yeah, only the production ones you can buy, not the non-production.
Yeah.
Wait. How did you do it again?
You just go up to the production and there's a spanner thing there and you press R and it comes up, do you want to buy it, and tells you how much it is. And then you go, yes.
Okay.
So we know he got rid of his loan. He got rid of his loan ages ago and didn't tell us.
He got rid of the loan yesterday, and I said that at the end of towards the end of the stream.
Oh, did you?
Well, I didn't know that because I wasn't there.
That was when he was still there.
And I wasn't there either
Was it?
because we didn't stream yesterday. Not this anyway.
Not the
No,
day
yeah,
before.
Sunday. I mean,
Sunday.
I mean. But yeah, Field 71 with the $65,000 contract money basically got me 2/3 there. The rest is from the other failing contracts and overhang.
And he sits there and goes, oh no, I'm not in the lead, I'm not in the lead, I'm not in the lead. We all knew you were leading. You were winning this competition.
Well, of course I am the Führer. I'm the only German here.
Yeah, well, I think that's been handed over to the Russian now.
Yeah, but we don't have a Russian. I'm still the closest thing to a Russian you have here, so...
There we go, leg, rubber banding again.
I had rubber banding like crazy on Sunday.
I don't know why I've got it.
I don't
Get
even
it?
know why I have
Thank
it.
you for the host, buddy. How you going? How was your stream? What did you stream? And welcome to everyone else who came along with them. I hope you're all having a good day. Glad to have you here with us. Just in time to listen to the German gloat about him winning the competition at the moment, being in the lead.
What do you mean at the
Yeah,
moment?
saying he's not in the damn lead.
Well, it's
I
not
didn't
over.
say that.
It's not over with yet. Super Mario Galaxy. Nice. I think I might have gone the wrong way on those. Yeah, actually going up and down might have been better. Too late now. Well, not really, but I can't be bothered changing it. Why am I like? Oh, so I was going to say, what are my lights on for? But it was actually the reversing lights. They're quite bright. Does that mod also add that? Well, okay, yeah, great driving. Add it to the reverse lights as well. The one that increases the brightness. Does it seem awfully bright?
Just like you.
Maybe that's what I should do at night, is reverse everywhere. That's how bright they are. How are we looking for contracts, I wonder? I have a look, I suppose. Yeah, not too bad, buddy. Not too bad. Enjoying a hot day today. Well, I'll say enjoying. It's quite hot. It's actually making my ears sweat, which I haven't had before with my headset on. Thank you for the follow there, Landon McCall. Welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing? I love how Streamlabs has decided to get onto the act here and let me know. Wonder why it started doing that.
Doing what?
Letting me know that people are following when it's supposed to be just stream elements. I suppose because it's doubly important that I should know, and doubly important I should thank you. Just good on your Streamlabs. So for all those that are new to the stream, welcome to this, what I call Farming Stimulator 22, because I'm really enjoying 22 after 19 was such a blooming letdown. The Monopoly competition, and if you want to know what the competition is about, you can put an exclamation mark farm into chat, but the simple version is all of us started with nothing. There's 4 of us here. You can see Patrio at the top, and Smudo at the bottom, and on the feed there, DJ, he's streaming on his own thing, and and we all started with absolutely nothing, no money, no land, anything else like that, and we've got to go until every field is bought, every land that's able to be bought is bought, and every production building is bought. Then we do a year after the last one and sell everything off, and whoever's got the most money wins. And currently the resident German, Mr. Smudo's in the lead and gloating about it. G'day, Lossing, mate.
Even
How are you,
though-
bud?
Even though he says he's not in the league, but when he's just bought
this is
production.
He was able to buy the farm that comes with this before anyone else, so he got all that land with all the fields and all that. So he managed to do that, and he's never looked back since. Mind you, there was a little bit of cheating going on at the beginning because the collectible